This is the Orioles POSTCAST, your instant game reaction for the Baltimore Orioles. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Good evening, or should I say, good morning. Early Wednesday, after midnight on the East Coast to our friends, celebrating a 6-2 Baltimore Orioles win over the San Diego Padres. I'm Luke Slaybaugh, and this is the Baltimore Orioles POSTCAST. It is the final edition of O's After Dark, a West Coast game for the Baltimore Orioles on a Tuesday night. We're streaming live here on YouTube, 10 minutes to 1 a.m. on the East Coast. Go ahead, if you're watching live on YouTube, leave a comment where you're watching from, your thoughts on the win, your player of the game. Many candidates to choose from. And if you're watching on demand or listening on replay, welcome as well. Always love interacting. Be sure to like and subscribe to this channel. We have daily content that's O's related. Connor Newcomb, Monday through Friday. I fill in the gaps. The Padres had lost 6 of 8 games heading into tonight. The O's, up and down road trip, especially against San Francisco, and with a chance to win against some of their old flames, Ryan O'Hearn, Ramon Laureano, and Manny Machado. And coming up, a former Rule 5 draft pick that the O's made, former Minnesota Twin, farmhand, Tulsa, Oklahoma native, Tyler Wells, coming off elbow surgery. He makes his 2025 debut.
This is what you'll be talking about.
Wells is back from elbow surgery, and Albert Suárez back from a shoulder strain, the right-hander getting into tonight's game late, which we'll talk about in the second block. Maverick Handley is demoted to AAA, Jorge Mateo recalled, and right-handers Corbin Martin and Elvin Rodriguez are designated for assignment. How about Tyler Wells? Looked pretty sharp, didn't he? First batter he faces is Fernando Tatis Jr., a legacy in this game, known for his good power stroke. He's been hurt of late, strikes out on 3 pitches. The cutter low and away, dices him up. Able to get Luis Suárez to fly out to right field on a 94-mile-an-hour fastball up and in. And then a well-fought at-bat against Manny Machado. 11 pitches in the plate appearance, and the former Oriole grounds out to Emmanuel Rivera, El Pulpo, the octopus, at third base. A 19-pitch inning for Tyler Wells, but a lot more good things to come. Gavin Sheets strikes out to lead off the second on a dive bomb changeup. Gives up a single to Ramon Laureano through the left side hole. However, we know Laureano can hit just about anything. It's sad that it comes one pitch after Samuel Basayo and Wells lost the ball in the lights in foul territory. Not the only defensive miscue. However, Wells comes back, gets Jackson Merrill, the Severna Park native, on a cutter at 90 miles an hour. And then eventually Jake Cronenworth, he hits a foul ball that's missed down the left field line by Dylan Beavers. Trying to time up the jump at the wall, couldn't quite corral it. He grounds out into a fielder's choice. No harm, no foul. There is, however, another defensive miscue by Dylan Beavers that would cost Tyler Wells a run. After Wells strikes out Mason McCoy on a mid to high fastball at 93, Freddie Fermin, the former Kansas City Royal great, hits a line shot to left center field. Approaching the warning track at the wall, Dylan Beavers is a shade late on this ball, and it kicks off the heel of his hand, or the heel of his glove, near his palm as he tries to make the catch. It's a focus thing. Glove to ball skills there on a line drive. He timed it almost good enough. It's a missed catch that goes down as a double on a fastball high at 93. And 1 out later, Luis Suárez, with 2 outs, gets a fastball up and in just like he saw in his first plate appearance and cranks a home run to right center field, his 7th of the year. Made it a 3-2 ball game in favor of the O's. And that is a good thing. We'll talk about the run support in just a second. Tyler Wells got. 5th inning went pretty well. 1 out. Wells gives up a double on a slider to Fermin, ricochets off the retaining wall there in left field. And then Tatis flies out to right on a 4-seam fastball over the plate. Fermin advances to third. And then going up against his nemesis Suárez, A 2-2 cutter is high in the zone. Arise just gets under it, pops it up, and Colton Cowser reins it in. The final line on Tyler Wells: 5 innings pitched, 2 earned runs on the home run, 5 hits and 4 strikeouts. 65 of his 85 pitches go for strikes. 11 swings and misses is a game high among pitchers, and 4 on the four-seamer, which topped out at 94. That change offset that speed really well, too. 84 to 89 was what the changeup was working in. So that was great. And he gets a historic performance from his third baseman, Emmanuel Rivera, the subject of tonight's turning point.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
Top of the third, the O's are already up 1-0. Ryan Mountcastle singles to right with 1 out, and Colton Cowser gets a 2-seam middle that he hits into center field. So you got 2 runners on. Mountcastle advancing to third base. Eventually, Cowser would steal second with Rivera at the plate. A 9-pitch at bat for the Octopus. 2-2 count, gets a slider inside, drops the hands, and shoots a single to left field. 2-run score to put the O's up 3-0. They put right-hander Yu Darvish, the starter for San Diego, in a hole very early. Darvish is one of the most inefficient pitchers. He is very difficult to watch sometimes. And before the pitch clock, it was watching paint dry sometimes. And that's a pretty good hit by Emmanuel Rivera. It would be enough to give the O's the lead for the rest of the game. However, he does it again. Top 5. Jeremiah Jackson leads off with a walk. 7 pitches, the slider away does it, and boots Darvish from this game after 87 pitches and 4+ innings pitched. Left-hander Wandy Peralta in. A fish called Wandy. Gunnar Henderson grounds out into a fielder's choice on a 2-seamer in. Ryan Mountcastle hits another single on a 1-2 changeup up the middle. Colton Cowser able to reach on an error by Jake Cronenworth. The bases are juiced with 1 out. Samuel Basayo falls victim to a lefty-on-lefty changeup. With 2 outs, manager Mike Schilt for the Padres brings in right-hander David Morgan to try to cancel out Rivera. On an 0-1 count, he gets a 2-seamer thigh high. Shoots it up the middle for another 2-out, 2-run single to make it a 5-2 ball game. That ties his career high in RBIs, 4 for the Octopus. He had a 2-homer game last September against Minnesota, if you'll recall. A 4-for-4 game. However, given the situations, with 2 outs and high leverage spots, Rivera gets it done. The O's would put runners in scoring position quite frequently. They were set down 1-2-3 in the top of the 7th for the first time in the game. Otherwise, they constantly had traffic against the Padres, who appeared to be in a little bit of a free fall. Go ahead and leave your comments for player of the game. We'll get to that right after this break. We'll also talk about Albert Suárez. His return to the bullpen, some clutch performances late there, a relatively stress-free game. Some instances in the 7th, and we'll look ahead to the finale tomorrow as the O's go for the sweep. This is the Orioles Postcast. Stick with us. Show is brought to you by our friends at PrizePicks. Daily fantasy app where making the right call can actually pay off. You and I make decisions every day, but on PrizePicks, being right means cashing in. With football back, PrizePicks is the simplest and fastest way to get in on the action. Just pick more or less on 2 to 6 player projections, and you can turn your takes into real prizes all in less than 60 seconds. This week's max discounts include Dak Prescott on passing yards, Lamar Jackson, Travis Kelce, and Patrick Mahomes. Download the PrizePicks app today and use code LOCKEDONMLB to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code LOCKEDONMLB for $50 in lineups after your first $5 play. PrizePicks. It's good to be right. Show's also brought to you by FanDuel. NFL season is just around the corner. We got that Sao Paulo game coming up. Really excited. FanDuel says you should be ready to kick off with a can't-miss offer. Right now, new customers can bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you'll get $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. It's quick, it's easy, and the best way to add a little bit more energy to your Sunday. So if you're ready to play, download the FanDuel app now by visiting fanduel.com to get started. That's fanduel.com to place your first $5 bet. We love our friends at Upside. Talking about getting free gas. If you're still paying full price at the pump in these times, in these uncertain times, stop leaving money behind. The Upside app is free. Download it in your App Store or Google Play right now and start earning cash at the pump today. Use my limited time promo code SEASON. Get an extra 25 cents back per gallon on your first fill up. You could make up to $300 a year just from buying the gas you already needed. At first, it seems too good to be true, but it's totally legit. Real people are getting paid just to make their daily commutes, and you can too. Plus, you can cash out anytime to your bank account, PayPal, or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Don't let this offer drive on by. Download the free Upside app now and use my limited time promo code SEASON season for limited time 25-cent per gallon bonus. That's promo code SEASON. Disclaimer, offers vary by user and location. Go to upside.com for terms and conditions.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
Fairly obvious today that Emmanuel Rivera just did the incredible, really put the offense on his back. The O's were 0-12 with runners in scoring position outside of his two hits. This could have been a very frustrating game. And El Pulpo, the octopus, has 4 2-out RBIs. He even could have had more. He left the bases loaded in the top of the first. 3 runners on that he also could have driven in, but he gets redemption for it. You want to talk about redemption as well? How about that final out? Dylan Beavers moved from left to right after missing a couple catchable balls, catches the final out off a jam shot from Ryan O'Hearn. Backhanded grab on the dive forward to pick up Albert Suárez. How about Albert Suárez? Back from his shoulder strain, hadn't pitched since March 28th, and faces the minimum through 2 innings. Relatively drama-free 8th and 9th inning. Boy, that's good to see if you're an O's fan. First batter he faces, Gavin Sheets, gets him to fly out to Daniel Johnson in left field on the curveball, strikes out Ramon Laureano on a four-seam fastball high at 95, and then Jackson Merrill, shout out Severna Park, home of my texting buddy Mark Viviano. Merrill grounds out to Jackson Holliday on a changeup low and away, a 10-pitch, 8-strike inning in the 8th. Hits Jake Cronenworth on a 1-2 fastball to lead off the 9th. However, he induces a ground ball double play off the bat of Elias Diaz on a cutter low and in. Rivera to Holliday to Mayo. 2 outs, a twin killing, and then that fly out by O'Hearn to end the game. Faces the minimum in a 12-pitch 9th inning. It was not as easy for Cade Stroud, the right-hander who, in low leverage situations, appears unhittable. However, when the stadium pulse ticks up a hair, and you've got a sellout crowd in San Diego, the 60th of the year at Petco Park, you start to see the command wane. He walks Jake Cronenworth to start the 7th. The cutter is missing inside on a lefty. Gets Will Wagner to ground out into a fielder's choice, 4-6, and starts to be erratic with the curveball, with the fastball. Walks Ryan O'Hearn on a curve high. Walks Fernando Tatis on a cutter low. And with the bases juiced, sacks packed, as Ben Wagner says on the broadcast for Masson. I don't like that phrase at all. Rico Garcia, right-hander who has come in high leverage spots before. You remember the Yarmil Geraldo game back in Boston, who also had a similar walking the bases loaded ordeal. Gets Luis Ariz in a full count. Ice water in his veins. Throws him a four-seam fastball, 97 at the knees, gets him to strike out. Something a lot of pitchers struggle to do. And then Manny Machado, 0-1 count, throws a four-seam fastball at 96 for a fielder's choice at Gunnar Henderson to Jackson Holliday. We are going to start a dialogue about Jeremiah Jackson. and just what he means to this team moving forward. He's 25. He has not been thwarted consistently against major league pitching, and today got the O's out to an incredible start. 1 out, top of the first, 0-2 hanging breaking ball, a sweeper from Yu Darvish, cranks it over the left field fence for his 4th home run of the month. Again, this is just the very beginning of this kid's career. And now he's hitting to an 897 OPS, 2 RBIs and a run scored. Had that insurance run driven in there in the 8th on a ground out. Jeremiah Jackson could start to make things interesting and force an issue for playing time next year. And there are plenty of spots that could use his help. You saw like Ramon Laureano on that home run, like one of his buttocks was over the fence trying to will that ball back in to try to catch it and make this diving or this hanging robbery of a home run. Not to be. Jeremiah Jackson got this game out to a bang. And the O's carry on. They go for a sweep on Wednesday. This has been probably one of the more impressive post-deadline series and one of the better well-played series all year. A win for Tyler Wells. Albert Suárez returns, and you got a couple of clutch hits when you needed them. Left-hander Cade Povich goes for the sweep. He of the 2-7 record, 100 strikeouts on the year and pitching to a 5.04 ERA. Left-hander Nestor Cortez, former Yankee, was with the Brewers very briefly this season and then came over at the trade deadline. He is 2-3 with a 5.06 ERA and 7 starts. However, he missed most of this year after suffering an left elbow flexor strain in early April, and in 5 starts for the Padres has pitched to a much better 3.75 ERA. That's a 4.10 first pitch on Masson 2, and I'm looking forward to it. This has been a really fun series and good Labor Day pick-me-up to turn some heads towards the end of the year. All you can do is play your heart out. You know the O's are giving a pretty good effort. Congrats to Tyler Wells on the win, coming back from an elbow injury, and congrats to Albert Suárez overcoming that shoulder strain. 2 innings of scoreless ball for Big Al. Final score tonight, the Baltimore Orioles 6 and the San Diego Padres 2. Good night, stay safe, and I'll see you right back here tomorrow night.